G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action. We're going to the metal markets again. We're going to check out some stuff on the way as well, so let's get into it. And we start in the Vinnies to see if there's any good DVDs today. Taking a look at the records on the counter, which is where I guess they put the things they think are going to sell better. And I'm not seeing any reason why these ones need to be here. I suppose there's no Kamal, but Fox and the Hound? Not really my kind of stuff, but I do check because I do know people have found thrash albums at charity stores before. Check out this old video camera. I think it's probably a high 8 camera, made in Japan with Japanese writing, 1992 Olympic Games sticker on it. Pretty cool piece of old tech. A Mandalorian Jaffle machine?
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Finally into the DVDs. Let's see if we can find anything interesting today. And it looks like someone's dumped a whole bunch of their action DVDs. Everything here I've got on DVD or on Blu-ray. Lots of Van Damme, Double Team, Legionnaire, Maximum Risk. I intentionally skip over Universal Soldier: The Return, The Order, Replicant, and oh dear, Stallone's Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. I actually don't mind that. Check out these UMDs. These are the discs that go into your original PlayStation Portable. Picked up Jet Li's Fearless on Blu-ray. Nice little upgrade. And taking a look at some of the stuff I thought was fun. Bootleg Star Wars DVDs. I haven't seen these since before they had the real Star Wars DVDs. Obviously just Chinese bootlegs, and they're usually coming from Laserdisc Masters. Final Examination. This is a bit of an erotic thriller, but it's directed by Brent Huff, who's better known for things like Strike Commando 2. FLCL. I'm not particularly into anime, but I like the covers on these, so I thought I'd take a look. Didn't pick them up, but interesting to see. They had a couple of war movies here, modern ones. Wolf Hound. You never know my luck with these. Sometimes they're interesting, sometimes they're really cheap, but I'm going to give this one a go. And a whole bunch of Bruce Willis. White Elephant. This one was actually quite good. Already got that. Vendetta. I don't think that one's going to be very good, and I already do have it. Lockdown. This is some kind of prison drama film. The DVD appears to be quite rare, so definitely picking this one up. More Bruce Willis direct-to-video, Wire Room. China Strike Force. I didn't buy this, but it did make me look on eBay, and I found a widescreen DVD instead of this local full-screen one, so that's coming to me now. And lastly, Asteroid with Michael Bain from Terminator. Love me some disaster flicks, and asteroids hitting the Earth is always a bit of a fun time. So, yeah, hopefully this is a good one. Into Egg Records now, and I've dragged one of my mates along with me today, taking a look at the metal section. They don't really change this much, as I pointed out before, and I don't know why Christian Death is in there. There's some Sadistic Execution, Chaos album, Def Leppard, Reaper, a little bit of a Spaz album, and Mental Cavity. I always see Mental Cavity LPs around. Pestilence, really, really good album, just a reissue. Oranzi Pazuzu, I think that's their second album. Ignivimus, really good album, that one. Don't know who Freedom of Fear are, but they look pretty power metal to me. And more Mental Cavity. This Bathory Hammerheart on the wall is an original press and was very tempting, I have to say. Into the CDs, there's a Primordial there. My mates picked up this Riot with a seal on the cover. Not much has really changed in these CDs, but I go through them because you never know. This one looks incredibly power metal, no interest with Enchant. Annihilator live album. I like Annihilator, but I don't need a live album. Old Fintroll, I think that's the first album. And Dark Throne Plague Wielder. This one's not too bad from their modern-ish Panic! Epidemic. This is old school thrash from about 1991 or 2. Metal Blade Press. Yeah, I'll take that one. Fun bit of artwork on the walls here. Top of the pops. And this Enter the Hard-Ons. Drawn and designed there by Ray from the Hard-Ons himself. Vintage patches ripped from someone's battle jacket. A DeLorean time machine. Tempted to buy that one myself. Bunch of Star Wars things. Lord Chaos gig is coming up soon, and Mortis, well, I know which one I'll be going to. Poor Garfield. He really hates Mondays. Into repressed records now. There's one behind the counter for me, and that is the new Dripping Decay Ripping Remains EP. Stoked to get this one. Other good stuff here on the shelf. We've got the new Contaminated album. Really good slab of Melbourne death metal. And the new Carcinoid. Also a good slab of Melbourne death metal. Take a look through the section here. Somebody sold a copy of Orphaned Land. Not a band I've really looked into. Good stuff. New Worm. Dying Fetus. Bunch of Death reissues. More Dark Throne. This Fabricant's a good one. Desecrator. I bought this a while ago. Really solid album. Decoherence. Excellent grindcore EP. Faceless Burial. My top album of 2022. Gutless. Fantastic EP. New stuff from the boys coming soon. Hyperdontia. Holder. That's the first demo on LP. Incinerate Him. Really good Deicide kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they even look like this. Yeah, the new Tolka. Brand new.
Love this band. Imprecation. Gut Void. I think that's their first EP. Innumerable Forms. That's a really good Sophomore release. My mates picked up the new Take there. I keep seeing this Incinerated. 18 minutes of grindcore. I have never picked it up. Probably should one day. It keeps getting a pretty good rap from people. Loving this Malignant Altar album. I'll tell anyone around that they should buy it.
US band, they're defunct now, but they're like
Like a Tonin. Really interesting, progressive, avant-garde black metal. Really dig that album.
So it's Blood Incantation. You know this one, Majesties? Yep. Sounds like In Flames. This is the stuff you find in here. You don't find this in Utopia. That's why I love this.
Last Agony. Didn't know what this was. Turns out it's a hardcore band. Sounds pretty rough. In a good way. Morbius.
Morbius. They
The Kill. Melbourne Grindcore.
if they started getting the
Definitely missing from my collection.
gay group up.
Miscarriage. This is some really nasty sounding. It doesn't even resemble Carcass Worship.
Oh yeah, the new Plague. There you go.
New album from The Plague out on Brilliant Emperor. We're going to be paying a visit to Brilliant Emperor soon today.
Yeah, so they're Cavalier.
And what's this? Nosferatu. Didn't know what this is, so I looked it up. This is an old Swedish band from 1990. All they did was demos, and that's what this compilation is, out on Blood Harvest. I think I'll give this one a go.
Nosferatu. I'm going to put my head.
Razor album, Armed and Dangerous. Stenched. Absolutely love this EP. Everyone should have that. And the Sovereign album. And of course Repulsion's a classic. Wasn't too sure what this one was. Turns out it's a band called Satan's Scourge. I think they're relatively modern, from the 2010s and up, but this seems to be a collection of everything they've done. Sedimentium, excellent album. New Vol'dran. I have picked this up and I do need to show it. Great melodic black metal. Vacuous. Whole bunch of Undergang. There's the Tolkien again. Transgressor, their first EP in many, many years. Vacuous Depths. Band I do need to check out. And I do know that a member from the band has been watching my channel. Nagaroth. Somebody sold this copy in. Black Metal Ist Krieg. Great song titles on here. The Day Burzum Killed Mayhem. Exhumed Gore Metal. Always love the cover on this. And this new edition comes in a sparkly green vinyl. I should probably get it one day. New release from Krieg. Turns out that Alex Poole has joined the band. A Noxus 10-inch. Night Hag. And Norith. I've been meaning to pick this one up. This is a good death metal band on Rotted Life. Take this one home with me, thank you. Night Hag with Burial. Burial's an Italian band, they're really good. New Spectral Voice is excellent, I already have a copy of this. In the used section, Acid Rain. This is an original Under One Flag press. UK thrash band. In the CDs, there's this nice Hellhammer collection, Demon Entrails. Bunch of EPs and demos all slammed together. Take a quick look through these CDs. Oni Compilation, Snet, Worm, Old Slayer, Ruin Lust, Faceless Burial, Vastum, Tomb Mold, Bathory, Neuropath. This CD is a band called Multifission. They're a Japanese band that sound very much like Demolik. Malformed, new Finnish band. Into the metal markets this time, not as packed as previously, but still a fun time. Taking a look at the Brilliant Emperor stock. Lots of obscure black metal in here, and some things that you're probably more familiar with. Bertsum. Whole bunch of Bathory. Classic albums. Interesting home version of Burzum, perhaps? Not official. Barrier, that's a South Coast Sydney black metal band, very raw. Delirium Tremens, don't know who they are, cool cover. Disfuneral, very much death metal. This one looks interesting, Fluked. Classic Golgothan Remains, their second album. Gorefest, that's a later album from them. Interesting to see there. Of course, you get your classic Mayhem here. No idea what this is. Good luck reading that logo. And there's another copy of The Plague from the label themselves. Traumatic Voyage. This is an interesting release that came out on Goto RX. Very avant-garde black and death doom, I suppose. Into the CDs now. Bunch of new things mixed with some old pressings. Of course, I'm quite gravitating towards the old pressings. And here's a Samael Blood Ritual, original Century Media. I do have it though. And Absu Barathrum. Got that on LP, but it was the original. Opera 9. Thou Shalt Suffer. Ancient. But I decided on these ones. We have Arcanum Campen, 2-disc release on Necropolis from 1998. And Impaled Nazarene, Tol Compt, Nors, back in my collection. And here's some of the things I picked up today. Delicious beer at the Hopsters Brewery. So let's take a look at the things that I picked up today. We're going to start with the DVDs and Blu-rays I got from the charity shop. The first one is the Blu-ray. I picked up Jet Li's Fearless. This is one I've not seen in ages. I've got it on an old DVD. and that DVD is a 2-pack that comes with Unleashed, which means now I need to find the Blu-ray of Unleashed, because I've got an Orphan 2-pack, and that just cannot do. But anyway, yeah, happy to have a Blu-ray upgrade of this one. It says here, Jet Li's final martial arts epic. I presume that's still the case. I mean, he's definitely been in films since this was in, like, what, 2005 or something like that? Not too sure. 2005, there you go. So he's probably been in things. I mean, he was been in the Expendables films, but his last martial arts epic, so there you go. Jet Li Fearless. Happy to get a nice cheap upgrade on that one. This should be fun. Asteroid. My god. This one's got Michael Biehn from Terminator, and it's got Annabella Sciorra, Anne-Marie Johnson, and Don Franklin. There you go. But it's got Michael Biehn, and I'll read from the back a little bit. From the producers of the blockbuster Courage Under Fire and Predator, and featuring the special effects team behind Star Trek the movie and Millennium, comes this epic disaster movie is guaranteed to make a big impact. Starring Michael Biehn from Terminator 1 and 2, and Annabella Sciorra from Copland, this is an amazing story of the greatest catastrophe in human history. 2 giant asteroids on a collision course with Earth, hurtling towards us at 34,000 miles per hour, and each could hit with 10,000 megatons of explosive power, creating shockwaves and a fireball that would obliterate the human race. As panic and terror spread, 2 people are held key to mankind's survival. Hold the key, I should say, a top female astrologist and the head of the government's federal agency, when the first asteroid causes cataclysmic disaster as it crashes into Kansas. Yep, Toto's there. The world's resources are turned against the even larger rock hurtling through space. And as the eve of total destruction approaches, the entire planet holds its breath. I mean, it sounds like about 27 Asylum films, but this is not. I mean, it's got Michael Biehn. It's from Davis Entertainment, whoever that may be. And yeah, it's one of those Prism Leisure UK DVDs, which I found at a charity shop. So there you go, Asteroid. I like these silly disaster films. Apparently it's a special collector's edition. Why? Because it's 4x3 full frame? Because that's it. But it has a restored DVD transfer. Yeah, special edition. Okay, next thing I picked up. Don't know much about this, but these Columbia TriStar DVDs, sometimes there's some obscure ones, and this is one. Lockdown, with Richard T. Jones and Master P, who I believe is probably of the hip-hop variety. But yeah, it's sort of like, you know, urban action kind of thing. Uncut, unrelenting, unforgettable. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now an innocent man's search for justice begins in a place that has its own set of rules. A place where violence is a constant threat. Corrupt guards favour the most corrupt cons, and any hint of hope seems hopeless. Richard T. Jones from Kiss the Girls, and Bill Nunn from Spider-Man, and rap star Master P head the cast of this cautionary tale about 3 friends wrongly imprisoned, struggling to cope with life on the inside. Powerful and uncompromising film. Like Animal Factory, The Hurricane, Lockdown is a tough as nails expose of a miscarriage of justice that becomes a fight for survival. Whatever. 2002, this came out. So you're going to get, you know, your gritty prison action drama kind of stuff. And I looked it up on eBay just to make sure it was, you know, something worth spending $3 on, and not something that's like 99 cents on eBay. There's copies for $99 on eBay. So yeah, seemingly a challenging disc to find. And yeah, 2002 early Australian ratings. So, you know, yeah, old DVD, mint condition. Happy with that. See if the movie is any good. And I picked up The War Below. Got a couple of just modern war films. Looks like obviously they came from the same guy, donated them. So, you know, it doesn't tell you much. They may not be very good. We will see. The War Below centers on the Battle of Messines and a high-stakes stalemate, the outcome of which holds the fate of Allied troops in the balance. To combat this lethal impasse in the middle of the Great War, British Army Colonel Hellfire Jack Norton Griffiths, Tom Goodman Hill from Humans, hatches a daring plan. He recruits a group of local miners, missioned to dig a tunnel underneath enemy lines, spanning from Allied trenches to the German trenches. Tunneling below no man's land, they must set off bombs below the German line without making a sound. This perilous order places Allied war effort success on civilian hands. Based on true events, the war below is a gripping account of courage, blah blah blah. So look, you never know. It's a roadshow DVD, very bland looking thing, and Rialto is involved in the production, and Vertigo releasing, and Vital Pictures. Look, I don't know what half of these companies are, but look, it's going to be a, you know, hopefully, I mean, the screenshots on the back don't really give you much indication of budget. Hopefully it's just not like a $2 war film, because the last one I got, which was a modern war film, oh dear, she was a $2 war film. So, and that might be what I get with this one. Wolfhound. I mean, look at that cover. It's kind of awesome and not at the same time. With James Maslow and Trevor Donovan. Inspired by true events. How do you defeat an enemy you cannot see coming? Wolfhound is an epic war thriller where nothing is as it seems and there's danger at every turn. Set in German-occupied France in 1944, we follow the incredible exploits of Jewish-American fighter pilot Captain David Holden. Ambushed behind enemy lines, Holden must rescue the B-17 Flying Fortress crew while dodging his lethal opponents. Can this soldier rise up against all odds and change the course of World War II? Wolfhound is one hell of a thrill ride, so fasten your seatbelts. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This one looks kind of cheap on the back, but once again we will see. 2022 film, another roadshow, another Rialto. Yep. Obviously somebody bought them, gave them one go and went, I'll pass, but you know, I might have better luck. I picked up 3 CDs today as well. The first one here, it's one of those sort of, you know, B-tier, thrash, semi-classics, but not really. But for the price, I'm happy to pick this up. This is the kind of thing I usually try picking up on LP, but it was there. It's an original Metal Blade. I'm talking about Panic with Epidemic. I think this is kind of a early 90s thrash album. I've not listened to it yet. I'm kind of just going in blind on this one. 1991 is this CD here. But, I mean, I'll give it a go for that price, and it's an original press. But yeah, I gather that Panic is, you know, not like top tier thrash or anything on those lines. At least, you know, they're not, you know, revered in that way. But we've got 10 tracks on here. I had to double check that this was thrash because there's a track on here called I Stole Your Love. And that made me kind of run for the hills. But it's got a Warner Brothers logo on here as well. So is this one of those bands that was like temporarily large? That they got like a proper release? Metal Blade? Warner Brothers? I mean, Warner Brothers! So yeah, I don't know much about Panic. But this is the original CD. And we're going to find out what it sounds like. And I'm hoping for, you know, some level of goodness. We got lyrics, we got full cover. There you go. The band. They're looking very sensual and not so much panicky, but anyway. Yeah, I can't say anything about it because I literally haven't listened to this. But for $10 Australian for this Metal Blade original from 1991, I'll give it a go. You let me know what you think, because you're probably going to get to it before I do. And from the record Fair, very, very stoked to get these ones. This one is Arcanum's third album, Campen. I think it's Campen, is that how you say it? K-A-M-P-N, Campen. So, challenging one to find. This is the original Necropolis Records release. Well, one of them. There was this is a 2 CD version. I think Discogs says there's a 1 CD. I don't know. There seems to be also like a bunch of confusion about the releases. This is 2 discs. It's got multiple tracks written on the back, but I think it's been cut into like 4 really long songs over 2 CDs. You get CD 1, and you get, unfortunately, the clip's kind of broken. I'm going to have to replace it, but yeah, CD 2. Fold out thingy. And yeah, I don't know so much about the release, but as I do, Campen from Arcanum is just another one of the early quality Swedish black metal releases that I've been really hoping to pick up. I've got the second album. I do not have the first. The first is the one I really want to get. But the trip over the third in the wild, original Necropolis. Pretty stoked about that. It's incredibly long, so that's why it's 2 CDs. It's like an hour 20 or something of just top tier Scandinavian black metal that's mixed in with not sort of dark ambient, but like ambient sounds, like sounds of like forest, running water, and birds, and all that kind of stuff. He's gone for a very natural sounding album on this one. Really looking forward to digging into it properly now that I've got a double CD of it. So here you go. Campin' from Arcanum. Awesome to have this one. Picked that up in the wild. And the third one, I had this like back in the 90s, and I don't know, it must have gone in the purge. I don't remember actively getting rid of it, but we all have those purges, you know, just things that go. You don't remember how they go, but they go. Well, this was one of them, and I've got it back. So, yeah, Impale Nazarene with Toll Comte Nors. It was always a cracking title. So I've got Ugra Karma, their first album, with the original cover artwork. Didn't like that reissue cover artwork. I know there's all legal garbage involved, but yeah, I picked up the first press of Ugra Karma at some point. And yeah, now I have their second album back in the collection, which is Toll Comte Nors. Hilariously titled. But for some reason you don't know Impale Nazarene, which of course you do, Finnish black metal, but they were one of the first to incorporate basically grindcore, so it's like black grind, but very early on. And it is easily an original Osmos, you can tell, because it's got the sticker of approval from Modern Invasion, who would have imported it way back when. Not too sure when this came out. Is there a year on the back? But 92, there you go, 1992 release, so awesome. Really good nick, as you can see. Nice silver disc, booklet, and I'll take it out. There you go. Just a thanks list with the band logos. And could probably use a new case, it's a bit scuffed up, but disc is good. Toll Comte Nors from Impaled Nazarene. Awesome to have this one back, very cool. So I've got 4 records to show here. Through the magic of editing, I combined 2 repressed record shopping trips into one. I picked up 2 today, but I picked up 2 a couple of weeks ago and I never got to do anything with the footage. Well, you just saw it. And I'm going to show you those 2 first. This one here I picked up, which is Noroth, and their sophomore release, which is called Harbinger. Harbinger. We'll go with Harbinger. Anyway, this is Seattle death metal band. Good stuff. It's just meat and potatoes death metal. It's not like anything I'm gonna like write home about how adventurous it is. Meat and potatoes death metal, but done really, really well. Quite a brutal sound these guys have got. Loving the cover artwork on this one as well. Look at that. Just gory as. There you go. Out on Rotted Life Records. So yeah, another label that Repressed has been getting in copies of, and they get them in very affordably. Rotted Life is quite an affordable label when it comes to distribution, at least here in Australia. So yeah, pretty stoked to have this one from Noroth. And like I said, it's just death metal. That's what you get. It's not technical this and brutal that. It's death metal, meat, potatoes, goodness. Take a quick look inside. It is a unexciting black, but since I went to all the effort of pulling it out, I thought I may as well just show you. And there's the band on the inner, and the song titles, lyrics. Is that the full lyrics? I think it is. Very short lyrics, if that's the case. And yeah, pop it back in. That is Noroth with Harbinger. And yeah, it's just good quality death metal. And we'll move on to the next one, which is, and if you watched one of the Heavy Metallurgy streams I did recently with Eric, and we talked about modern black metal bands from post 2000, I showed this one as I got it in that day. And now I can show you guys here. This is the new one from Holder with Verses in Oath. Bit of a reflective thing there. Hopefully it's coming across for you there. Nice presentation here from 20 Buck Spin. So this is the sophomore full length from Holder, American black metal band. Female fronted, as much as I hate that term, but that is really what's going on here with Holder. She does, I pretty much think she does all the instruments sans drums. I think that's what goes on with Holder. And of course there's a live band as well. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. And yeah, she's progressed quite a bit. On the first demos, it was pretty raw black metal stuff, but then by the first album, she'd really refined it and got a very organic sounding sort of Stormblast era Dimmu Borgir, that kind of thing, but harsher, more raspier and nastier. Continues it a bit here. Has a medieval sound, so sort of your first couple of Satyricon, definitely a big influence here on Holder. And it's just really good black metal. Really enjoying what she's putting out, what the band is putting out. Take a quick look inside. Yeah, do go watch that Heavy Metal Energy stream, and I can ramble more in that poster, which is nice. And the record, which is again black. Exciting stuff. Anything else in here? Inner lyrics, very cool. And there she is there. So yeah, Holder with Verses in Oath. Really enjoying the stuff that she's putting out. I've listened to this album twice through so far. As I said, Smoke and Mirrors. I've had this for a little bit of time. And yeah, I do think it is an improvement over the first album. Gottslavering. I never knew how to say that one properly. But this one's Verses in Oath, and I can say that one. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you like the last album, the first album, you're going to like this one. It's just more of the same, but even better. So yeah, good stuff from Holder. And onto the ones I did pick up today. The first one here. Didn't know about this, and when I say that, I mean I probably did, because I probably read about it in the Swedish death metal book, and then I've just forgotten. But this was really cool. I saw the cover in the shop and went, what's this? Gave it a quick listen, looked it up. This is Swedish Death Metal Act, one of the many bands from sort of 1990, 1991 that just did demos and nothing more. This is Nosferatu. The compilation here, In Remembrance, as I understand, is everything they put out. So we get the unreleased EP 91, the Decadence Remains Demo 90, and on side B, Rehearsal 90, which was a little bit rough when I was listening to it in the shop, and Rehearsal 91. So some of the tracks repeat, so Religious Figment is on the 91, and the Rehearsal, this is everything they've ever done, I am sure. But yeah, listening to it quickly in the shop, this fits in nicely with your Nihilist demos and your Nirvana 2002, just really quite savage sounding, very much HM2 sounding Swedish death metal that just didn't go anywhere, and quite primitive. So really cool. I'm going to enjoy giving this one a proper listen tomorrow. And taking a look in here, we get LP, which is actually on grey. I need to put that in a silly paper sleeve without the poly, so I don't want to pull it all the way out. I only want to do that once. And we get all the collage here of gigs that they played. They played with Carbonized, with Rabbit's Carrot. Now that's a name I've heard around a lot in the demo scene, but I've never heard anything from Rabbit's Carrot. And Grotesque, so that's pretty awesome. They were right down there on the bottom, I think there. Yeah, they were, Nosferatu. And yeah, really cool demo layout stuff. Same here on this side. Just everything. So yeah, pretty sure we get everything the band has done here in a nice tidy little set from, who put this out? Yeah, this is a Blood Harvest release. Not too sure when this release came out. Blood Harvest and To the Death in Sweden. This may be new, or it may not be. Sometimes Repressed Records surprises me with what they dig up from the archives. Nosferatu with In Remembrance, some cool, old school Swedish demo death metal stuff I'm going to dig into tomorrow. And the last thing I picked up, which I actually had on order from the website. They have a good website I did order to pick up. And it is the new Dripping Decay EP with, what even is this thing called? Ripping Remains. I didn't even know what I was buying when I picked it up. So it's the new Dripping Decay. Ripping Remains. It's about 18 minutes or so EP. It's quite short. Killer sort of very demo sketchy artwork there with Mr. Horrible Blob Man who's on a car. So he's like consuming the car, maybe? I don't know. It's awesome. So yeah, you get 6 tracks, sort of 17.5 minutes or so. And they've thrashed it up a little bit this time. It's still that nasty, gory, like Autopsy-ish, but Razorback Records death metal. But they've thrashed it up a little bit more this time. And I'm here for it. It's all good stuff. And again, we'll give it a proper listen tomorrow when I get some free time. Inside, I really like this lyric sheet. It's so 8-bit. Look at the font. Save me, scrape me. The whole thing looks like, you know, some 1984 Spectrum video game. Amazing. Lyrics, there you go. Also in a very 8-bit font. You got some Beyond down there. Or is it City of the Living Dead? Either way, it's Fulci down there in the corner. Very cool. And the record itself, which is nice. Yellowy green splatter with that 8-bit looking logo there in the corner, in the center. And a bit of static. Get that back in. So yeah, happy to pick this one up. And I'm still confused at how Repressed get this thing in. I mean, this is on Satanic Royalty Records. It's hardly got massive distribution from what I can tell. But they surprise me. Great record store. Love picking up things from these guys. And I can get a Dripping Decay EP. Pretty much date and time with when the Americans get it. Yay for me in Australia. And that's what I picked up on this shopping trip this time. Bunch of DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, and vinyl. Good fun at the metal markets as usual. Not as big turnout as last time, but hopefully next time we'll get more patrons in. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this little shopping trip today. If you did, like, subscribe, check out this thing, check out this thing. I'll see you next time.